Now, the Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, says it's disappointing but not unexpected that the UK's economy has contracted. Our household finance expert, Greg Marsh, is here to break it all down for us. Hi, Greg. So, an announcement this morning. What exactly did we learn?
Yeah, well, what we've had this morning is disappointing September numbers, meaning that as a whole, the third quarter of this year, the UK economy contracted, got a bit smaller. How much smaller? Well, not a lot. To get a sense for how much smaller, you can see that little glimpse of red there, 0.2% over the quarter. Barely enough to measure, but enough. And it might even be such a small effect that that extra bank holiday in September was enough to account for that. Now, where was it led? It was led by the manufacturing sector, where we've seen the biggest declines in output. But taken as a whole, this matters because if there's another contraction next quarter, we're in a recession, and it might be one that lasts a while.
And why is this happening?
Well, more than anything else, it's probably because of this, consumer sentiment. Now, consumer confidence in the UK is particularly badly affected by cost of living crisis, rising cost of food, rising cost of fuel, rising cost of energy, high interest rates and other factors, maybe even the political turmoil that we've all endured over the last few months. You can see that versus the other G7 countries, it's at an historic low level. And the consequence of that at the cash points and the checkout tills is this. While essential spending remains robust, that's of course a function of the fact that the cost of everything's gone up, so everything's more expensive, about 10% more expensive. Things that households can delay buying or expenditure they can defer, they are deferring. A very significant effect there. If there's a silver lining to this data, it's that where it comes to going out to the pub and restaurants, it looks like that's held up okay. Maybe it will continue to hold up okay. Publicans would hope that that stands up, particularly if England and Wales do well in Qatar over the next few weeks. But when it comes to the tills at the supermarket, it's a more mixed picture. Because inflation's gone up, you can see this crocodile mouth here opening. The amount that we're spending, say for potatoes or eggs or anything else, has increased, but the number of those things that our money is buying, the number we can buy for every pound we spend, is decreasing. And those are the jaws that are eating up consumer confidence and consumer sentiment. We're paying more, but we're getting less for our money.
OK, Greg, if this is the first quarter of recession, how long do we think it's going to last? Do we have any idea?
The Bank of England think this could be the start of a recession that might last several years. But how long it lasts depends more than anything else on interest rates. At their current level, 3%. Interest rates, this downturn could take us through until probably the early part of 2024. That's the point that that dotted blue line begins to turn upwards and the economy starts growing again. But if interest rates remain at the level or go to the level that it's widely forecast they will reach, 4, 5, maybe even nearly 6%, look, this recession could easily last 8 quarters or longer. And that's, unfortunately, the bad news that everyone's factoring in to 2023.
OK, Greg, thank you so much.